August 24th, 2024, Paris. A Gulfstream G650 touches down. Pavel Durov steps out in his signature black t-shirt. 3 steps down the stairs. 6 officers surround him. Monsieur Durov, you're under arrest. The 39-year-old billionaire who told every government no just got caught. This is the man who built a social network with 100 million Russians, then lost his $300 million company because he refused to hand over protesters' data. The programmer who threw cash from windows to watch people fight like animals. The exile who fled Russia with 1 backpack and built an app so secure that when Russia tried to block it, they broke their own internet instead. Today, 1 billion people use Telegram to speak freely. Ukraine soldiers share life-saving coordinates. Iranian women organize resistance. Russians read uncensored news. Every authoritarian government wants him stopped. For 10 years, none could touch him. He had 5 passports, no home, and lived like a ghost between Dubai and the Caribbean. Then he made one mistake. He trusted France. Now he faces 12 charges and 20 years in prison. Not for committing crimes, for refusing to help governments spy on users. How did one programmer defeat every government? And what made him finally vulnerable?
St. Petersburg, Russia, October 2006. A borrowed laptop glows in a university dormitory. Pavel Durov, 22, hasn't slept in 4 nights. Philosophy student by day, coder by obsession. He's building something while Mark Zuckerberg conquers American colleges. Russia has 40 million internet users and 0 social networks that actually work. Durov sees the gap. September 28, 2006. vContact goes live. His first user is himself. The second is his brother Nikolai, a math genius who just won another international programming competition. By sunrise, 1,000 St. Petersburg students have accounts. By winter, 10,000. Durov drops out 3 credits shy of graduation. The degree can wait. The internet won't. vContact spreads like fire through Russian universities. Clean design because Durov rejects any feature taking more than 2 clicks. No ads for 2 years because growth beats profit. Free music streaming while iTunes charges 99 cents. Copyright holders scream. Users celebrate. The numbers tell the story. July 2007, 1 million users. April 2008, 10 million. By 2011, 100 million Russians live on VK. Durov is 27 years old and worth $260 million. He wears the same black t-shirt every day, drives a black Mercedes, lives in a black furnished apartment. When journalists call him Russia's Zuckerberg, he corrects them. Zuckerberg is America's Durov. But in Putin's Russia, success attracts dangerous attention. And in December 2011, that attention arrives with a phone call that will destroy everything Durov built.
December 10th, 2011. Moscow erupts. 300,000 Russians flood the streets. Parliamentary elections were rigged, and everyone knows it. They're furious, and they're organizing everything through vKontakte. The numbers terrify the Kremlin. Fair Elections page has 400,000 members. Opposition leader Alexei Navalny's personal page hits 750,000 followers. VK groups coordinate protest locations, timing, supplies. For the first time in Putin's Russia, people are organizing at scale without government control. An FSB colonel calls Durov's personal cell, not his office, his private number they're not supposed to have. The colonel calls back immediately. This is not a request. Durov blocks the number. December 24th, Christmas Eve. 3 FSB agents arrive at VK headquarters without warrant. They're very polite. They explain the situation carefully. Protesters threaten stability. Stability matters more than some website. Surely Durov understands. Durov understands perfectly. He records the entire conversation on his phone. That night, he posts the audio online with a statement. vKontakte will never become a tool of political censorship. 1 million likes in hours. But likes don't stop what's coming. May 16th, 2012. Durov celebrates St. Petersburg's birthday with an experiment in human nature. He folds 5,000 ruble notes, about $150 each, into paper airplanes, then launches them from VK's office window. The street below explodes. A grandmother tackles a businessman for a bill. Students form human pyramids trying to catch money mid-air. Police arrive to find Durov calmly folding more planes. He throws $2,000 in 2 minutes before stopping. "I wanted to see if money really makes people happy," he tells reporters. It doesn't. It makes them animals. The stunt goes viral globally. Russian state media calls him reckless and Western-influenced. The Security Council opens a file. Classification: person of interest. While Durov sleeps, his company is being stolen. Mail.ru Group, controlled by billionaire Alisher Usmanov, one of Putin's closest allies, quietly acquires 52% of VK through a web of shell companies. The boardroom coup takes 6 months to execute, involves 14 different funds, and costs $1.47 billion. Durov wakes up one morning having lost majority control of his own company. They didn't buy VK for profit. They bought it for power. The trap has closed. Durov just doesn't know it yet. December 13th, 2013. An FSB directive marked urgent eyes only arrives at VK headquarters. Ukraine is burning. Euromaidan protesters have seized Independence Square in Kyiv, demanding their president abandon Russia for Europe. The FSB wants data, specifically personal information on 39 Ukrainian VK users organizing protest supply chains. Phone numbers, home addresses, private messages, IP logs. This is a matter of state security, the letter states. Compliance is not optional. Durov reads it twice. These aren't terrorists. They're kids posting about delivering sandwiches to protesters. One is a 19-year-old medical student organizing first aid tents. Another translates Ukrainian news to Russian. Hand over this data, and they disappear into basement interrogation rooms. Durov opens his laptop, screenshots the FSB letter, posts it on his VK wall with 2 words: Russian law doesn't apply to Ukrainian citizens. He also tweets a photo of a dog wearing a hoodie. The caption: "This is our official response to all state requests for user data." The image becomes known as Durov's dog. Users flood VK with dog pictures. The FSB is not amused. That night, a black BMW follows Durov's Mercedes through St. Petersburg. He takes 4 random turns. The BMW takes 4 random turns. At a red light, Durov walks back to the BMW and knocks on the window. 2 men in suits stare straight ahead, pretending he doesn't exist. Durov takes a selfie with their car, posts it. "My new FSB friends seem shy." The message is delivered. We're watching. What Durov doesn't know is that his board of directors is meeting in secret. The topic is removing Pavel Durov as CEO. The vote is unanimous. April 1st, 2014. Durov arrives at VK headquarters. His keycard doesn't work. Security guards he's known for years won't make eye contact. The receptionist hands him an envelope. Inside, notification that the board has accepted his resignation. Durov never resigned. He takes the elevator to the 14th floor anyway. His office is empty. Even his black furniture is gone. Ivan Tavrin, the man who now controls VK, sits in Durov's chair. Tavrin slides a contract across the desk. Durov looks at the contract, looks at Tavrin, picks up the pen, signs his name, then walks out of Kontakte forever. But here's what Tavrin doesn't know. Durov has been planning this moment for months. The 12 developers who matter, his core team, resigned yesterday. Their laptops are already in Cyprus. The code for something called Telegram is already compiled and tested. Durov didn't lose. He executed the most expensive escape plan in tech history, and he's about to build something that will make Kontakte look like practice. April 21st, 2014. Pavel Durov officially leaves Russia. The country is incompatible with internet business at the moment, he tells reporters. He obtains St. Kitts and Nevis citizenship by donating $250,000 to their Sugar Industry Diversification Foundation. He secures $300 million cash in Swiss banks. And he disappears. But he's been preparing for this war since 2009. The day after the FSB first asked for VK user data, Durov started coding something new. Something governments couldn't touch. By 2013, while still VK's CEO, he and his brother Nikolai secretly launched it. Telegram. The architecture was designed with one principle: governments are the enemy. Nikolai developed the MT Proto encryption protocol, end-to-end encryption so strong that even Telegram itself can't break it. Messages that could take the NSA 10,000 years to crack. Servers scattered across 9 jurisdictions, each storing just fragments of data. No headquarters means no door for police to knock on. Delete your account, and every message you ever sent vanishes from every phone that received it. Now, free from Russia, Durov goes all in. He funds everything from his VK exit. 100% ownership. Total control. August 14th, 2013. Telegram launches publicly. First day, 100,000 downloads. First week, 1 million. First month, 8 million. Every user who joins values privacy over features. WhatsApp has stickers and games. Telegram has encryption that would take a decade to break. Iranian democracy activists adopt it immediately. Hong Kong protesters make it their primary coordination tool. Russian opposition leaders abandon VK entirely. Edward Snowden endorses it from Moscow exile. ISIS starts using it too, a fact that will haunt Durov forever. But he maintains the principle: privacy is absolute. You don't get to choose who deserves it. When Apple demands Durov add backdoors for law enforcement, his response is 2 words: absolutely not. In 4 months, Telegram hits 50 million users. By February 2016, 100 million monthly active users. Governments worldwide ask the same question: how do we stop this? The answer comes from Russia first. April 16th, 2018. Moscow's Tagansky District Court rules Telegram must hand over encryption keys to the FSB. Judge Yulia Smolina takes exactly 18 minutes to deliver the verdict. Durov, watching via live stream from Dubai, posts a single message: privacy is not for sale. Russia responds by ordering every internet provider in the country to block Telegram. Roskomnadzor, the state censor, publishes a list of IP addresses to block. Not 100, not 1,000, 15.8 million IP addresses. Within hours, Russia accidentally breaks its own internet. Amazon Web Services crashes across the country. Google services fail. Microsoft Azure stops working. Online banking fails nationwide. Russia has destroyed its own infrastructure trying to stop one app. And Telegram still works perfectly. Durov has engineered digital jujitsu. He activates a contingency he's been planning for years. Telegram servers start domain fronting, disguising traffic as harmless connections to Google or Amazon. When Russia blocks those IPs, Telegram instantly shifts to new ones. Block those, and it shifts again. It's like trying to stop water with a tennis racket. Russian programmers create 7,000 proxy servers overnight, offering free Telegram access. Durov sends them $3.7 million in Bitcoin. Digital resistance deserves funding, he posts. April 30th, 2018. 5,000 Russians flood Moscow's Sakharov Avenue carrying paper airplanes. Protesters silently launch their planes into the air. Thousands of white paper triangles float above Moscow like snow. A grandmother holds a sign. A student waves a banner. You can ban our app, but not our voices. Police don't know what to do. How do you arrest someone for throwing paper? Durov, watching from Dubai, posts, "Thank you for the paper planes. Please pick them up afterward to keep Moscow clean." The protesters actually do. They clean every piece of paper, leaving the square spotless. State TV, trying to spin the story, accidentally shows millions of Russians how to download VPNs to access Telegram. Usage goes up 40% that day. By 2020, the Russian government itself is using Telegram to broadcast COVID updates. In June 2020, Russia officially lifts the ban, admitting total defeat. Durov has done the impossible. He's beaten Putin at his own game. But beating Russia was just practice. From 2018 to 2024, Durov becomes tech's most wanted man. Iran bans Telegram after protesters use it. Durov responds with $10 million in proxy funding for Iranian users. Germany threatens to ban Telegram unless it censors extremist content. Durov removes 12 channels calling for assassinations, ignores 200,000 other demands. India shuts down Telegram during Kashmir protests. Durov creates emergency proxy servers activated within 6 hours. China blocks it completely. Brazil orders it suspended. Indonesia, Pakistan, Thailand each takes their shot. each fails. Telegram reaches 500 million users, then 600 million, then 700 million. Every government demand makes it grow faster. Every ban becomes free marketing. Durov has discovered something profound. The more governments hate your product, the more people need it. But success has a price. Durov can't enter Russia without facing arrest. Can't stay anywhere longer than 6 months because it's too dangerous. He exists in permanent, high-end homelessness. Private jets, 5-star hotels, but never a home. His core team spreads across Dubai, Singapore, Barcelona. Never more than 4 programmers in one city. If police raid one office, Telegram keeps running from the others. Durov himself moves between France, UAE, and Caribbean islands. He has 5 passports, but belongs nowhere. French intelligence knows what he eats for breakfast. Russian FSB tracks his flights. The CIA has a dedicated team monitoring Telegram. The man who gave 1 billion people privacy has none himself. He's simultaneously untouchable and completely exposed. Which government would finally catch him? March 2024. Durov makes a fatal miscalculation. He schedules a trip to France, believing his French passport, obtained in 2021, grants him immunity. He's wrong. French prosecutors have been building a case for 2 years. The charges are unprecedented. Not that Durov committed crimes, but that Telegram's encryption enables them. Child exploitation, drug trafficking, money laundering, terrorism planning. By refusing to moderate and refusing to help police, Durov is complicit. It's a legal theory that would make every platform CEO a criminal. But France wants to set a precedent. August 24th, 2024. Le Bourget Airport, Paris. Durov's Gulfstream G650 descends through clouds toward runway 27. French tactical police wait in 3 unmarked vans. They've tracked this flight from Dubai for 14 hours. Inside the jet, Durov reads encryption papers, completely unaware he's flying into custody. The jet touches down, rolls to the private terminal. Engines wind down. The door opens. Durov appears. Black t-shirt, black jeans. He takes 3 steps down the stairs. Monsieur Durov? He turns. 6 officers surround him. You're under arrest. They don't read rights, don't explain charges. Just handcuff the creator of the world's most secure messaging app with restraints used for common thieves. The Elysee Palace Detention Center, designed for terrorists, becomes Durov's home for 96 hours. Investigators ask the same questions hundreds of ways. Why won't you give us backdoor access? How many criminals use Telegram? Where are your servers? Durov gives the same answer hundreds of ways. Privacy is absolute. You don't get to choose who deserves it. On day 3, something extraordinary happens. Moscow, the government that exiled him, demands his release. France is destroying free speech, declares Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova. The same woman who called Durov a Western agent in 2014 now calls him a political prisoner. Edward Snowden tweets from Russian asylum. The arrest of Durov is an assault on the basic human rights of speech and association. This is insane. Elon Musk posts, POV, it's 2030 in Europe, and you're being executed for liking a meme. August 28th, 2024. After 96 hours, France releases Durov on €5 million bail. But he can't leave the country. He must report to police twice weekly. His passport, all 5 of them, confiscated. The man who ran from Russia to stay free is now trapped in France by democracy. The charges are devastating. 12 counts. Complicity in administering a platform to facilitate illegal transactions. Drug trafficking. Child sexual exploitation. Money laundering. Fraud. Providing cryptology services without proper declaration. If convicted, he faces up to 20 years in prison. Standing outside the courthouse, Durov looks older. 4 days aged him 4 years. But his first post on Telegram shows the old defiance. Thanks for your support. Telegram's principles remain unchanged. Privacy is not negotiable. 1 hour later, Telegram gains 12 million new users. The French prosecution has achieved the opposite of its intent. Instead of weakening Telegram, they've made it a symbol. Every download is a vote against surveillance. Every new user is someone saying, "I choose privacy." Within days, 9 million Telegram users sign a petition demanding Durov's release. The internet has chosen sides, and it chose Durov. 1 year later, August 24th, 2025, Durov breaks his silence about the arrest in devastating detail. In a Twitter thread that goes viral within minutes, he calls his detention legally and logically absurd. "Ironically, I was arrested due to the French police's own mistake," he writes. "They could have learned the correct procedure simply by Googling it." He reveals that French authorities ignored their own EU laws and proper legal procedures when demanding data from Telegram. He's still required to report to French police every 14 days, with no appeal date in sight. "The only result of my arrest," he concludes, "was huge damage to the image of France as a free country. The man they tried to silence has turned his prosecution into France's humiliation." November 2025. France lifts the travel ban, but the investigation continues. The charges remain. The trial looms. Today, Telegram approaches 1 billion monthly active users. In Ukraine, soldiers share coordinates that save lives. In Russia, citizens read news that state TV won't show. In Iran, women organize resistance that authoritarians can't stop. In 1,000 cities, in 100 languages, humans speak freely because one programmer refused to comply. Durov remains in Dubai, mostly, sometimes Paris for court appearances, occasionally nowhere at all. He owns no property, claims no nation, trusts no government. At 40 years old, he's worth $17.1 billion, according to Forbes. But he lives like a fugitive, because he is one, not from justice, from injustice, from lawlessness disguised as law. The man who defied every government started with just 12 programmers and a simple belief: privacy is not a privilege, it's a human right. He lost his first company, lost his country, lost his freedom to travel, but he never lost the war. Because you can arrest the messenger, you can seize his passports, you can force him to report to police twice a week, but you can't arrest the message. You can't confiscate an idea whose time has come. 1 billion people now use an app that governments can't break. That's 1 billion votes for privacy. 1 billion voices saying surveillance is not safety, control is not security, and freedom is not negotiable. Pavel Durov told every government on Earth the same word: no. And he built something that will keep saying no long after he's gone. That's not just a business success. That's a revolution. And revolutions don't need permission. They just need one person willing to stand up and refuse to kneel. The hammer sounds stop in Russia. The arrest happened in France. But the message keeps spreading. Because Durov didn't just build an app. He built proof that one person can still matter. That technology can serve humans instead of governments, if someone is willing to pay the price. And Durov paid it. His company, his country, his freedom. Everything except the principle. The one thing they can never take. The belief that humans deserve to speak freely without their government listening. You've just learned how one programmer defeated every government by refusing to compromise. If you want to see how another man fooled every intelligence agency on Earth, the story of John McAfee is waiting. Because the war for digital freedom isn't over. It's just beginning. And people like Durov are showing us it can be won.